All right, hello. I think my title is up and good. Let me make sure. The $600 stimulus ends before, right? Before July 21st. July 31st. So how to prepare for that, how to prepare for those changes, what credit changes are already happening, right? What changes in the credit world is already taking place. Let me adjust this. And I'm going to share some notes from listening to the audio version of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? Also, how being free from credit card debt and mortgage debt freedom will not equal financial freedom in this economy or this recession, whichever way you want to word it. How credit card freedom and mortgage freedom will not equal financial freedom in this economy. Thanks everyone coming in on YouTube for dropping your city and state. Hello everyone. We have New York that's already in the live stream, Atlanta, North Carolina, also Harlem, New York. So if you're on Instagram, drop your city and state as well. And hello to everyone that's saying hello. Martin said, what up, though? What up, Martin? And Texas is in the house as of right now. So always good to drop your city and state because things in this recession is changing according to what city and state that you may be located in. So we have Florida in the house, Detroit, Dallas. I think it said Dallas, Georgia is in the house. Houston is in the house, Fort Lauderdale. Los Angeles on Instagram. Hello. Los Angeles. All right, you all are coming right in with the questions. Pop Smokey on my YouTube says, send your page from, I don't know who Dwayne's 624 page. Any help? Yes, I do help with inquiry removal. I'm going to drop my website. Go to www.fixmycreditandcash.com and go to Credit Help Online. You have to go through the consultation first. And then once I analyze and look at your credit report, I will definitely, but you have to have at least 5 or more inquiries that you did not get approved for, that you need deleted. I do not do 5 or less inquiries. So 5 or more inquiries that you need deleted. Hello, Crystal Springs, Mississippi is in the house, my hometown. Have another New York, Bronx is in the house. Bronx, New York, another 2 Atlanta, Georgia. You all make sure that even if you're on Instagram, that you share. One way of sharing on Facebook is taking time to hit the thumbs up algorithm and sharing the broadcast, right? So thanks for everyone that's coming in, dropping their city and state. No problem. I will put my website up for you. And select the tab that says credit help. You have to start there, right? That's the first place to start. You have to make that small investment of $75 for that credit consultation, right? You have only one inquiry. I think my mic was muted. Okay, Pop Smoky. I usually don't do one inquiries, but I definitely will look at it for you and look at that Capital One collection. All right, so as I give everyone a shout out that's coming in, Rod J from Las Vegas, Soigné, Georgia, Atlanta's Best Secret, I got you. All right, can you all hear me now? Let's go right into the question I have. Is the sound good before I start speaking again? I know I was muted for a minute. All right, so the question is, I know Instagram cannot see this, but how do I feel about Dave Ramsey's way of paying down your credit cards? That's a great answer. That's a great question. I really do like that question. The way I feel about credit cards is that credit cards are unsecured debt, meaning it's no collateral connected with them, right? They're unsecured debt. It's no collateral. And so oftentimes when it comes to credit cards, right, there's not much repercussion in not repaying a credit card debt. The highest or the most repercussion you would get from not paying your credit card debt is oftentimes you may receive a 1099 in the mail. What a 1099 does is the company will write that unpaid balance off as a tax write-off for the company or the business, right? That 1099 would then transfer those taxes onto you as income for you to claim on your taxes. So you know that the higher your taxable income, the higher you pay in the amount of taxes, right? So that's one thing that might happen. Number two, another thing that may happen that many people do not like is that the bank or the credit card company may actually take you to court for the debt, right? If it's over $10,000, $9,000 debt, one of the things I have seen is that they will subpoena you to court for the debt and may have rights to garnish your paycheck. Now, that's the most harsh thing that can happen from resulting of unpaid credit card debt, right? That's the most harsh thing that could happen. However, if you are subpoenaed to court by the credit card company or the bank or the business, right, oftentimes they will negotiate with you if you show that you are incapable of repaying the debt. So even if you are subpoenaed to court, most of the time you will pay back less than what you charge, right? And the third thing I like about credit cards being uncollateral debt is that you can include this debt in bankruptcy, right? This is why I hate student loan debt, but credit card debt have so many ways or avenues of negotiation that you don't pay the full balance. You can include them in bankruptcy. So when Dave Ramsey suggests to pay down your credit card debt, especially in the recession that we are in, with so many lease ramifications that can happen, I question why would you take your cash and to aggressively pay down credit cards debt? There's so much other things you can do with your cash money, such as acquiring assets. Now, I do recommend that you try to keep your credit cards in good standing, simply because we are in a recession, right? And so you definitely want to keep your credit cards in good standing so the company does not close them to use in case of emergencies. I think that advice is for a thriving economy or a good economy, but the economic situation that we are in, I think that advice is totally obsolete to pay down your credit card debt. But you definitely want to pay enough of those debt or keep those debt balances at a low ratio so that you can keep those credit cards in good standing. So the debt snowball versus debt avalanche, I don't think it's applicable in today's economy, and especially in the economic situations that we are facing. Right. So how do you pay down student loan debt? And as you would call it, the devil. Yeah, and the reason why I say student loan debt is evil, is of the devil, because you cannot write off your student loan debt in bankruptcy like you can credit card debt. All student loan debt, a lot of people don't know, since the 2008 Obama administration, is federal debt, meaning that a government court or a bankruptcy court will not cancel out a government debt, right? House divided against itself will not stand. So a court will not cancel out the government. So you will have student loan debts until you die, right? If you don't take care of them. Now, if your student loan debt is going to free you financially of extra cash flow, then yes, during this economic time, you will want to pay off or down your student loan debt. If a large amount of your cash flow or monthly payment will be freed up. But a lot of people with student loan debt are on a debt repayment plan, income-based repayment plan, right? Income-based repayment plan. And a lot of people qualify for forbearance or deferment. And again, on income-based repayment plan, they're not spending out a lot of monthly income to pay towards their student loan debt. So being that we are in a recession, if you're only paying a low monthly payment, and if you take a large cash lump sum to pay down or off a student loan debt, will you be in a position, if your job does not return? You know, we have millions of Americans right now with unemployment, and July 25th and 26th, in approximately 3 weeks, will end the $600 unemployment that many of Americans are receiving. 25% of Americans right now is being paid by the government. So if you are not freeing up $300, $400, $500 of cash flow by paying off their student loan debt, and if you don't have a secure job, then I would question why pay off that large debt sum. Now, I think a lot of people ask me that question just to evoke a response. I'm not saying don't pay down your debts, but now is not the time to pay a lot of debts off. I'm telling you right now to delay a lot of your debts, because you will need some cash reserves in this recession. Because this is not a recession that we will be out of within a couple of months. It's going to take some years. And if your job, and when I'm saying your job is not secure, no one's job is secure right now. No one's job is secure right now. No person can tell you, I know 100% that through this recession, my job will be here, right? And so, you know what? I tell people all the time, student loan debt is just like your credit score. For some people, it may be here until you die. But the best way to pay off a student loan debt is to get more cash flow coming in. If you have one income, this is not the time to pay off your student loan debt. I'm just being straight up and honest. If you don't have multiple streams of income, this is not the time to pay off or down your student loan debt. Credit Millennial says the only way out of student loan debt is to pay it off in full or to die. Exactly. The same thing about your credit score. You will have those 3 digits that will follow you until you die. It's not going away. So it's not something that you can work on once or twice a year. It's something that you should be working on daily, weekly, and monthly, right? Pop Smokey says, buy the silver package on my website. Yes, you can buy the silver stacking report on my website. When you go to my website, www.fixmycreditandcash.com, On the first home page, stroll all the way down to the bottom and you will see the silver stacking report. So that's how I feel about Dave Ramsey's way of paying down your credit card. It's easy for a multimillionaire to tell people not to get credit cards, right? I mean, at that point, if Dave Ramsey is cash rich, but just like Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I can almost agree that Dave Ramsey at some point in his life had to use his FICO score to get assets, right? And then once you become so cash rich, the only thing that matters is your cash flow statements. All right, so question is, do I temporary report work on unemployment claim day? I am going to day labor. Do I report temporary work? I am going to day labor. I don't know. I really don't understand what that question is asking. Do I report temporary work on unemployment claim day? I'm going to day labor. I really don't understand, so you might want to retype that question for me. All right. Oklahoma is in the house. Another question, I receive unemployment benefits. I have been receiving $600 weekly. Okay. Just know that could end July 25th, July 26th. And currently, as of right now, the Senate, the House is on vacation. And we don't know. As of right now, it's written in the books that unemployment will end indefinitely in the upcoming weeks. And that there may be a second stimulus, but definitely not a second wave of weekly unemployment benefits. Someone on my Facebook page posted that some people have accumulated about $10,000 worth of unemployment and have nothing to show on it. Right? Some people have accumulated almost $10,000 of unemployment benefits or money and have nothing to show on it. And you also know you're going to be taxed on that money as well going into 2021. All right, I paid off all my debt, but my score is not going up. Is this normal? Great question. I've been informing everyone since January that we will have new scoring changes in this month of July. And so the FICO 10 scoring model, right now we have FICO 9 for credit card approvals for most banks, FICO 8 for vehicle loan approvals, and FICO 2, 3, and 5 in some states, different states, for mortgage FHA loan approvals. However, when you pay off your debt, Sonia, what debt are you paying off? Because if you are paying off installment loans, what installment loans mean is a fixed debt amount for a fixed amount like a vehicle loan or a personal loan. And when you pay those debts off, oftentimes your score doesn't improve a lot because those scores are calculated into your FICO score by your payment history. That's why it's a fixed amount, right? And so once you have cut off your payment history early, then it doesn't really impact your credit score, right? So then you have to ask yourself a question: why am I paying this debt off? Am I paying it off to get a higher credit score, or am I paying it off so I don't have a fixed monthly payment to pay out and I want to increase my cash flow? So am I paying this off to increase my cash flow, or am I paying it off to increase my credit score? All right. Someone, Queen of Credit, I have an 835 credit scores. Congratulations on that 835 credit scores. Has anyone been affected by FICO 10 yet, and what happened? Yes, people are affected by FICO 10. It's called the resilience score. The resilience score was in effect Monday of this week, what the resilience score is that lenders and banks will look at it. It didn't affect your FICO score within itself or your credit score, but they look at, are you credit worthy to lend to? It can look 3 months into your future and look at, are you credit worthy to lend? Are you a risky borrower, right? Would you default on the debt if they loan to you a certain amount of money? So the resilience score ranks from 1 to 99. 1 to 44 is a great resilience or good resilience score range. So this is tied into your personal credit scores. And the banks use this method and can determine within 3 months, are you credit worthy? So that's the first phase of FICO 10, right? And so you will see now banks and lenders are not implementing exactly FICO 10 at this time, but they are implementing the first phase, which is called your resilience score. So if your resilience score is anywhere between 1 and 44, then you will be in good standing or more likely to get funding through banks and credit unions. All right, so that's the first part. To learn more about your resilience score and FICO 10, you want to go to this website, www.myfico.com. Curtis, you can get your resilience score on that website, www.myfico.com. So that's where you can find your resilience score. Anywhere between the range of 1 to 44 means that you are good. If you're over that score, because I told you all that FICO 10 will also take in account of your income, right? Your income as well as your credit scores, as well as the amount of debt that you have reported on your credit report. All right. Hello from Periscope. Periscope, make sure you share this video, share this live stream with your followers. All right. Another question, Ad Hinton. Are you leveraging your credit to do some stock market investing? Right now, the stock market is very volatile. If I did any type of stock market investing, Mr. Ad Hinton, it would be in the area of swing trading, right? I definitely would not invest in the stock market for the long term. I'm really expecting the stock market to take a big crash within the next upcoming months, probably before the election takes place. So I'm definitely not investing in stocks for the long term. And I do not have a 401k. I have a pension plan set up. But if I had a 401k, then I definitely would shift that money into other places, especially if I have a public 401k. Another question, are you familiar with Fund and Grow? If so, what's your opinion? No, I'm not familiar, Bobby, with Fund and Grow. So let's see my shirt. All right, here we go. Shirt says, I make money moves. That's my shirt. There you go. I saw my shirt. I think you see it on Instagram as well. Let me turn this way. I make money moves. L. Johnson said, I think the person was trying to say if they work a temporary job, is that considered employment or unemployment claims? I'm not sure about how that unemployment works to the fullest, so I really don't feel comfortable answering those questions. I do know that it ends July 25th or 26th. You probably would want to ask your human resource person, right? If you're working a temporary job, is that considered? Yeah, definitely ask your human resources question. Unemployment, you're supposed to let them know to take out taxes. I do know that part about it. So you can get it back at the end of the year. You must keep differing loans. I will work on my credit score to 680 or better. Right now, your credit score, you need to be at least at 720 or above. You definitely want to be at 720 or above. Do I assist with business credit? I do. Let me get that website for you to assist you with business credit. Also, just know that these qualifications need to be in place to qualify for business credit. Is that you need to have no bankruptcy at all reporting on your credit report. No bankruptcy at all reporting within the last 2 years. You definitely need to have, and I'm looking to my left because I'm looking for my business. Okay, here it is. Link. You definitely need to have within the last 2 years, no late payments, no collections. That's even paid collections. It's even paid collections or charge offs. Reporting on your credit report. Just know that paid collections will hurt you. Now, let me say this real quick about paid collections too. If you have a collections that's reported on your credit report and you have good payment history on that collection and you've been paying on it for some months or some years, then it will be best if you continue to pay on that collection, even though it's reporting as a paid collection, but it's increasing your payment history. However, just know that a paid collection is still a collection reporting on your credit report. But if you're paying in good standing, it will help your credit history. But many people will argue, why pay a collection if it will continue to report on a collection on a credit report when you can just save that money that you're paying on the balance and make the company validate the debt. And if they don't have legal validation, you legally owe nothing on that collection. And also that will position you for the rights to get that removed. Right? So yes, you can get collections removed. Oftentimes collections are placed on your credit report by third-party debt collectors. In other words, what does that mean? Third-party debt collectors mean they do not have the first-hand knowledge of your accounting information. They're not the original creditor or the company that you engaged in business with. And because they are a third party, they're not the first-hand party. A lot of those collections can be deleted because they don't have the first-hand information, and it can be reporting inaccurate on your credit report. So in order to get your consultation for business credit, if you meet those pre-qualifications, no late payments within the last 2 years, no charge-offs, no collections, and also no more than 5 or more inquiries on each credit agencies or from each credit agencies. So that means you need 5 or less from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Hard pulls, inquiries, or inquiries reporting on your credit report. So if you're on my YouTube, you're able to see this background. But this is your pre-approval submission forms. You enter your first and last name, your phone number, how much of unsecured. Remember, the key word in this is unsecured, meaning that it's non-collateral. There's no collateral attached to it, that if you don't repay the capital that you receive, that can be compensated, like a vehicle, right? Or a mortgage debt. So are you seeking, the minimum starts at 50,000, the maximum all the way to 500,000. And this is why they ask you, have you ever filed for bankruptcy? If you have, and that bankruptcy is reported, no matter how new or old it is, then you will automatically not qualify. If you have ever had foreclosure report on your credit report, you will not qualify as well. So no foreclosure or bankruptcy reporting, and you must own a business, right? Why else would you want business credit if you're not a business owner. So that's the website. Yes, please go to my website, www.fixmycreditandcash.com. All right, so next question. What would I suggest a person to do if they have a 401k with their employer? Is it best to stop the contributions? I don't give financial advice. I just give financial education. So I wouldn't advise you on what to do with your 401k. If you're not losing any money in it and your company stocks is doing well, then, this kind of a easy, decisions to make. You're making money. So why wouldn't you contribute to? I would tell everyone at this time, though, however, to closely check your 401ks daily to see what they're doing. Also check your credit scores daily as well as your checking account. Could I please answer the question about the credit score? I sent the dispute and they dropped my score by 47 points for no reason. Should I send them another one? I'm afraid. Sonia, I don't know what question you had about the credit score. I don't know what type of account. That's why I don't give credit. At this point, I would be giving you free credit consultation just because I'm going live. And I can't accurately give you that answer because a lot of people that dispute their own credit, their credit scores drop because they don't know. They don't have the background or the professional knowledge to fix their own credit, right? So I don't know what you disputed. I don't know. I'm not looking at your credit report. I don't even know why would you a dispute account, what type of account it was, and why you felt the need to dispute it. So I can't answer that question, right? I can't really answer that question because I don't have enough information. If you want me to assist you, go to my website and pay for the credit consultation for a small investment of $75. Elijah says, I am new to your channel. How can I start my credit to your help? Welcome, Elijah. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Thank you for being new to the channel. Elijah, you will go to www. Let me just put it up in the background. I think I've said this. I might as well get used to saying this over and over. www.fixmycreditandcash.com. And to get started with credit help, you will select the tab that says credit help. For the person that asked about the silver stacking report, the Queen of Coins silver stacking report, this is on the home stream, start all the way down to the bottom. It's $35 investment, a small investment. It also not only give you what physical silver that you can invest in that once you cash it back in for a higher rate of return, right? And you will not get a 1099-B from the IRS, meaning that you won't get taxed on your investment. So you need to know what physical silver coins are tax-free money for you. And also, I also have the top 3 dividend silver mining and gold mining stocks. The dividend is yielding up to 12%, 15%, and another 12% at this time. But for credit help, you will select the credit help tab, custom credit analysis, small investment for $75. Please include your name and email address in notes. That's step 1. Step 2 is after you have pulled your credit report, you must email me the credit report in HTML format. And you click on the YouTube video, and I made a short video. It's 4 minutes and 12 seconds long, explaining and showing how to email me your credit report. So those are the first 2 things you need to do to get credit help from me. All right, next question. I lost $5,000 in my 401k, so I decreased my contribution. Okay, I wouldn't say that's a smart move, because if I'm losing money, I definitely would decrease my contributions as well. You need to know if there's public or private stocks. Also, this is just something I know. Again, I'm not giving financial advice. That if you're losing money in your 401k, you can convert it to a cash only account where you're no longer investing in stocks at all, but it's just a savings account. Those are some options. You can call your 401k, your company, and ask, I know Vanguard offers this, can I just have a savings account? And that way you are not, or can I just switch this to a savings account? That way you're not you're not gaining anything, but you're not losing money in the 401k and the stock market as well. All right, next question is, what if you dispute the original creditor on your report and they respond by saying they don't own the account? Talk to collection agents. How do I remove the original creditor? Is the original creditor reporting a charge off on your account? Because it sounds like the original creditor will have two reportings on your credit report. It will report as a collection / charge off, meaning that the original creditor has charged the account off and that the account was sold to a collection company. So at that point, you have to dispute the charge off from the original creditor. And I'm assuming that if you disputed with the original creditor, you use the Fair Credit Reporting Act 623, right? Now you have to use a different Fair Credit Reporting Act because the original creditor did not provide you any information or assistance in getting that account deleted. So you have to now use a different chess move and look to see if the account is reporting inaccurate and complete or unverifiable. Now you have to use different Fair Credit Reporting Act laws to dispute the reporting that the original creditor has, and you have to do two things, and the debt collector's reporting. So when you have anything that's reporting as collection / charge off, you have to challenge it from two different legal perspectives, right? Next question. When applying for credit cards and getting denied, is it possible to get inquiries removed since it's drastically reduced my FICO score? Yes, it is possible because they have to show permissible purposes to pull your credit. And you have to show that you gave them permissible purposes. And if you were denied, then more than likely you may not have provided them with the permissible purpose to pull your credit, right? So yes, they can get deleted. All right, next question. I haven't even gotten into my topic. I'm just answering questions at this point, but that's fine. If you all want me to answer your questions, you definitely need to pay the cost of participation and hit the thumbs up, right? I'll go wherever you all want me to go and answer your credit questions. All right, how do you feel about the housing market? My husband and myself are looking to buy next year with a 20% down payment. I feel like the housing market in 2021 would be great to buy. You definitely want to look for deals in the housing market. I personally don't invest in properties or housings that's more than 10 or 15 years old. I don't like older housing for my tenants, but you definitely will get deals in the housing market beginning in 2021 because unfortunately, a lot of people at the end of this month have deferred or delayed their housing payments, and their credit will not allow them to get loan modification approval for refinancing. And unfortunately, they may lose their homes in bankruptcy or foreclosures. So after it takes some time for the paperwork to process, 2021 would be a great time to purchase a home, right? They would definitely be on sale. And you definitely can find great deals from on your courthouse step. Now, this is worth a super chat. If you're on YouTube, this is worth a donation because I'm dropping you all some nuggets, right? I'm dropping you some jewels and nuggets. But you definitely should be able to find deals on your courthouse step or bankruptcy attorney. So you all definitely should super chat that up and donate to the channel just for me dropping those nuggets for you and on the best place to go looking for homes in bankruptcy or foreclosure. All right, next question. So dispute differently. Yes, you have to dispute differently, and you have to dispute the charge off and the collection. So you have to dispute the original creditor that you had the account with and the debt collector. You can't just dispute one. All right, next question. Jim asked me the question in its entirety. I only see a comment, and I'm getting a lot of questions in. You're saying when you was talking about deferred loans, you meant student loans. So what's the full question? All right, Queen B, I'm looking to buy a house next year as well. Next question, have I written a book on credit? You're new to my channel. I have not written a book on credit. A lot of people are asking or wanting me or, asking me that. And I just got a text. I will be dropping a book on credit. I'll start this month of July. This my personal goals. So, Queen B, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. The super chat is what Queen B just posted. You're able to donate to the channel. I don't really know how it works, but you hit the button, make a donation, gives you different options. For the jewels, for the nuggets. I appreciate that. So this is what I was going to get into, but you all can keep the questions coming. And let me share this with you. $600 stimulus ends. Let's make sure that you are prepared. The one, thank you for the $2 super chat as well. So let's get into this. The Rona benefits end before. I want you all to understand this ends before July 31st. Make sure you are prepared. The CARES Act benefits that have helped many Americans through economic hardships are set to expire this month. Multiple benefits that were developed to ease financial strains on Americans during the Rona pandemic will end before July 31st, leaving millions of jobless or underemployed Americans wondering what will happen next, right? The CARES Act, which was signed into law March 27 by President Donald Trump, provided benefits like enhanced unemployment payments to supplement lost income from layoffs. It also included a clause to delay evictions for 120 days. So there are also evictions up and coming for people who cannot pay their rent for up to 4 months. So August may not be very pretty for a lot of people, right? In addition to the credit score crisis that we are experiencing through the resilience score being implemented and the changes in the credit score and banks and lenders and credit cards cutting off limits and banks requiring higher credit scores for FHA loans and higher cash deposits. So, but now this assistance is also dissolving the 600 unemployment benefits, stopping days sooner than was commonly thought. Although this might not make a material impact, it's a joke for those who thought they were supported longer. Mitch McConnell said Congress does not plan to extend the $600, right? But it's unclear what the final decision would be. It is also unclear if there will be a second stimulus check for individuals and families to help keep the families afloat. So the unemployment is drying up. Now nearly 21 million people are receiving unemployment benefits. People, that's 21 million people. 25% of the population are receiving unemployment. This soon will dry up, as well as 9.7 self-employed workers receiving assistance in the week ending June 20th. Nearly 1.5 million people filed for unemployment for the first time. But by July 26, 2020, the enhanced unemployment benefits of the extra $600 per week on the top of the usual allowance will end a week sooner than originally expected, according to USA Today. So when I have people that's asking me, is this the time to pay down debt? The answer is no, and hell to the no. As Whitney Houston would say. Thank you, Quick Johnson, so much for supporting the channel, for your $10 super chat. Libra, thank you so much. Let me unmute. Okay, Queen B, I love that name. Question is, when applying to both my jewelers and New Coast Direct, how far apart should your application be? Or can you apply? You can apply both in the same week. Let me find those links for you. Oh, Lee Brown, thank you. I'm missing you all are giving those super chats while I was reading the screen. I missed out on some. So Lee, aka Les Brown, thank you for the $10 super chat. And Mimosa, also the $9.99 super chat. So let me get back to Queen B question. You won't believe how many people will comment on my channel that I don't stay focused, but hey, I'm answering questions. And if they were live streaming, they would want to get their question answered as well. So, and these are people that's getting information for free. All it costs is their attention to maybe a 1 hour live stream. So, how bad do you want to be financially free, right? How bad do you want to be financially free? So thank you all so much for supporting the channel and for those super chats. But this is the link to another super chat coming in, $4.99. Monica Gary, thank you so much for that $4.99 super chat. Now, this is why it would not hurt to apply for both trade lines at both times, is because with my Jewelers Club, it is not a hard pull on your credit report. It's not a hard inquiry or a hard pull. However, someone told me, this is the link, www.bit.ly/500K trade line. Let me see what this one is too. This one is the My Jewelers Club link. So let me share the screen with you. My Jewelers Club does not do a hard pull. It's you have to join a membership for only $99. But what it does is give you a $5,000 trade line to your credit reporting, so that when you apply for a major credit card, that major credit card will match oftentimes a current trade line that you already have reporting on your credit report. So no, I don't think my jeweler club is a hard pull. I think that the hard pull is from New Coast Direct. The last I checked, unless they've changed something, it was a soft pull for my jewelers club. Now and someone informed me that this link, now this is slightly different. It's still www.bit.ly.5000 trade line, but the only difference is you don't see the K in there. The K is for my jewelers club. So this will give you $10,000 worth of trade line reporting on your credit report. And this is New Coast Direct, right? This is New Coast Direct. But even if it is a hard pull, it's automatically denied approval, right? So you won't get denied for that. So these are the links for that. Thank you, sir, for the $5 super chat. Collier. Okay, JH, I'm not going to argue if it's a hard pull or not. So what? It's automatic approval if it is for both companies, right? So JA said he just did my jeweler. So, okay, maybe it is a hard pull. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up to date with those. But use it for the strategies that they're used for. It's automatic approval. So even if it's a hard pull, you would not get denied. You will not get denied. All right. So those are those two links. And there, someone said, I just got approved for U.S. Bank and Bank of America, Secure Card. Tyrone, what deposit did you have to make to get approved for those secure credit cards? Because the only reason why I promote the unsecured credit cards over the secure credit cards, and I don't know how my hair is looking, but it's getting hot because I'm under some lighting, so I need to take this off. It's because oftentimes your secure credit cards do not have a high credit limit. And you want to get trade lines reporting to your credit score that has high credit limits because you're in this to get high credit limits. And oftentimes secure cards are $200, $300, $500 cards. So for less of an investment, like for $99, you can get trade lines that's reporting to all three credit agencies, and you're getting a $5,000 trade line versus a $200 or $300 trade line, and your investment cost is less, right? $99 for my jewelers club. All right. Now, yes, it's guaranteed approval. Thank you, JH. So I paid off my installment loan off my bank, did a hard pull. Why did your bank do a hard pull when you paid off a loan? Can I get these inquiries removed? So Annie, let me know why your bank did a hard pull just for you to pay off a debt or a loan. All right. I read about your business, but I need help getting started. Okay, so I'm assuming you're referring to the home-based business. I will get on the home-based business in a minute. Hello, Queen. If it's a hard pull, what is this affect? What are you working at? What are you working on analysis? A hard pull on your credit score, you have to, what game are you trying to play, right? Would you rather your credit score drop 2 to 3 points to get a $5,000 guaranteed approved line of credit? So that's the question that you have to ask yourself. Or would you risk the chance of getting a hard pull on your credit report and then you getting a denied for credit all at the same time, right? Tyrone said that his secure credit cards were both hard pulls. He made $1,000 deposit to each bank, and they will unsecure in 12. So that's what I'm saying. With these secure credit cards, you have to pay more money for a lesser line of credit limit, meaning that it won't be $5,000. Right. So next question. How will FICO 10 affect everyone? It's already into play right now. FICO 10 is let me see, can I pull this up? The resilience score is FICO 10 has 4 phases. The resilience score is the first phase. And it's the first phase of FICO 10. Let's pull this article up. 40 million Americans' credit scores will drop by an estimate 40 points or more. So for Instagram, you all can't see the article in your backdrop, but Periscope and Facebook and YouTube can. FICO introduces the new resilience index. Here's what it might mean for you. FICO, the company behind the most widely known credit scoring model known as FICO score, has created a new method of determining a consumer's ability to weather financial storms called the FICO Resilience Index. The new method uses credit, and they said this article says bureaus. I like to refer to them as credit agencies because a lot of people think credit bureaus and they think it's government entities, but they are just big businesses that get paid billions of dollars to report your credit score to your banks and lenders, right? But the new method uses credit bureau information from both before and after the recession of 2007 to 2009 to measure a person's likelihood of paying bills on time, even during times of financial uncertainty. So they're going to use your information from 2007, 2009 recession to see, did you pay during that recession to determine if you're going to pay in this recession. So the FICO Resilient Index operates on a scale of 1 to 99, with lower scores indicating greater financial resilience in an economic downturn, right? The resulting score is meant to be used in tandem with a consumer's existing credit report to gain more clear picture of how those scores may react within these unprecedented times. Again, I mentioned this earlier, so here's the graph for you to see. If you're 1 to 44, you are more resilient, means that you are more likely to pay back. Moderate means 45 to 59 on the resilience scale. And you're sensitive to payback, which means least likely or less likely if you're from 6 to 69 resilience. And then from 70 to 99, you are very sensitive or less likely. Credit reports do not contain any data that indicates the current state of economy. That's certainly not a criticism of credit reports. That's just how you're being designed to track, says John Oldtimer. If you all don't know John Oldtimer, I mean, he's the godfather of credit repair in the credit industry, a nationally renowned credit expert and former FICO and Equifax employee. A traditional credit score is based on the likelihood of someone meeting their payments obligations based on their previous history of payments. A good credit score indicates someone less likely to default on their loan. FICO based the resilient index on the likelihood of someone meeting their payment obligation during the economic downturn. So if you have a high resilience score, this means, or if you're in that 1 to 44 resilience range, that means you have fewer credit inquiries than in the last year. So I can see why people want to get their inquiries removed that they did not have permissible purpose. Fewer active accounts, lower totaling revolving balances, that mean low revolving debt, right? And more experienced managing credit. So that means your credit history. Instagram, I have 10 seconds. I have to log off. So hop on my YouTube, right? Queen of Credit, and hop on my YouTube live. So let me log off Instagram so I can save this video. And give me a couple of seconds and then I'll let you all read that. So I don't lose this video on my Instagram. All right. So that's the first phase. That's what's firstly implemented. Jimbo G, this is Jim Goldsmith. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Thank you so much for supporting me and supporting the channel. Thank you so much. Make sure you all hit that thumbs up. Okay, I have applied for these loans. I have direct deposit with my bank. As long as you have direct deposit, it doesn't matter if your credit is good or bad, you will get approved. That's not true in all cases, Annie. But direct deposit does help, especially with accounts like Navy Federal for approval, right? Direct deposit definitely does help. Tyrone Williams says, I have 10 personal major credit cards and 1 business credit card. I will be in the garden for 12 months until I apply for another card. Okay. Tyrone, what business credit card do you have? Just curious. Between personal and business credit cards, it's $55,000 in credit lines, good enough to make the amount to be recession proof for the time being. $55,000 is a great place to be. It's a great place to be in this time of recession. Most people don't have $50,000 in credit reserves for this emergency. So just rule of thumb, at least look at your 6 months living expenses and see how much your living expenses, your mortgage and or your rent, utilities, your food, how much that will cost you in the event that maybe you lost your job, right? And you have to do temporary unemployment. But yes, $55,000 living below is a great emergency credit limit to have. Just make sure though that you keep some type of transactions on no credit cards. I have been known of heard of Amex, American Express, dropping credit limits, right, on people American Express cards. So you want to keep some activity on them, and if you are in a position to pay them off in full. All right. Okay, Annie, if you have inquiries and you were not approved, then go to my website, www.fixmycreditandcash.com, under the credit help tab, and invest in a credit consultation so I can look to see if those inquiries can be removed. Thank you so much, you all. Thank you so much. Definitely hit the thumbs up. All right, next question. Tyrone, you have the Amex Blue Cash. Okay, great, Tyrone. Have you had any issues with Amex lowering or cutting off your credit limits, Tyrone? Because I also have the Amex Blue Business Cash as well. All right, Annie says, I also have Navy Federal. Also at the time, I didn't have direct deposit with Navy. I started my direct deposit. Yes, Navy Federal is a great place to have direct deposit with, because direct deposit with Navy Federal will increase the chances of you getting approved for a Navy Federal card. Another, because for me, I have the Navy Federal cashback card, and recently I got approved for the Navy Federal Platinum card. And a lot of, not only just my credit score, but the likelihood in our private Facebook group of people getting approved with additional Navy Federal cards is that they also have direct deposit to get additional Navy Federal cards, right? So yes, you gotta make sure you hit the like. All right, so I think, let me see if there's anything else to share, and then we're going to discuss the home-based business opportunity. But let me make sure that I shared all the information that I wanted to share with you all. And this is why credit card and mortgage debt will not help you. Indeed, being credit and mortgage debt free will not help you in this economy, because if you are mortgage free or credit card free, right, that's a good start. That's a good start. I'm not saying it's bad, but definitely don't cut up and close your credit card, because no one knows the future of their jobs. No one knows the certainty, right, of their jobs moving forward in this recession. Everything now is up for grabs. And so, yeah, this is what I want to talk about. Inflation and why cash is not king right now. Okay, great deal, Tyrone. He said he has no problem with Amex. Good deal. Okay, this is why cash is not king. And this is the financial education that people do not take the time to invest in, because you always have money problems when you don't learn about money. And a lot of times people ask me, well, and they expect me to answer this in a one-line sentence, well, Queen, how did you learn about credit? What did you do? That's a conversation. There's not a straight to the point question that I can answer, right? So if you look at this graph, you'll see in 1970, and I also have some people that will tell me, well, why I wasn't even born in 1970. Why do I care what happened in 1971? Well, sir or madam, neither was I. But if you want to understand, if you want to stop having money problems, you have to learn the history of money, and you have to learn about money. So Living Below, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. And so in 1970, right, you had 25 cents that can buy you a cup of coffee. The same cup of coffee 10 years later cost you 45 cents. Now, in 1970, the same cup of coffee now is 75 cents, right? 75 cents. Year 2000, same cup of coffee is now $1. And then 10 years later, 2010, it's $1.25. And now here we are in 2020, it triples to $1.75. And so what people don't understand is that cash will never be king as long as we have inflation. Curtis says inflation is 1995, $1 worth of gas. Gas was $1 a gallon. In 2005, it was $2 a gallon. 2015, $3 a gallon. Right. So we experienced a temporary deflation with gas pricing, but that's only because the oil and gas industry are also laying off, and the production of oil has decreased, right? Which is not a great thing for our biggest income earners out of the states of Oklahoma, Texas, and Arizona, right? Someone told me, yeah, Mimosa said Starbucks is $5, right? So $1.75 is cheap. And this is what people don't understand. The number one expense that we have is taxes. And then the number 2 is inflation. And this is what the rich, right, know about money that the middle class and the poor working class don't know or don't understand. See, inflation is a silent tax, right? It's the silent tax. And so when you do not invest in income producing assets through credit or through your cash, because cash and credit are both assets. Cash and credit are both assets. So I know you want to believe that credit card debt is of the devil, and they rather said cut them up. That's for people that do not have a financial education. Because you can use credit to attain assets, just like you can use credit and credit cards to get liability. See, rich people acquire assets. Poor and middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets. What's the first thing that the poor and middle, or the middle class and the poor working class do when they get a job, which is income? They go out and they get liabilities in the form of a house or vehicles. So the very first thing they do is to get things that take money out of their pockets and not obtain assets that put money into their pocket. Now, if you've ever read The Richest Man in Babylon, right? Have you all, yes or no, whether you're watching this live or on the replay, have you ever listened to the audio version or read the book of The Richest Man in Babylon? Right? The first thing that the richest man in Babylon states is to pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. And what the middle class and the poor working class do is they pay the government first. They pay the government first. Why do you say that, Queen? Because when they get their paycheck, right, they don't pay themselves first. Their first paycheck goes into the form of taxes. Let me show you how your number one expense is taxes. So this is my cash flow quadrant, but I'm gonna have to erase this. Your number one expense is taxes. Your number two expense is assets. Your first set of taxes is your Social Security and Medicare. Social Security and Medicare. $7.5% of taxes that come out of your paycheck. So now your employer has to match that at 7.5% as well. So now that your employer has to match this, they can't pay you more. So employer, you are gonna have to help me with my spelling. They have to match that at 7.5%. So the middle class and the poor working class think all I need is a higher paying job and I can get out of this rat race. Not until you learn this financial education. You know that book that said, Who Moved My Cheese? You need to ask yourself, who took my money? Curtis says liability versus assets. Rich kids have trust funds, asset appreciation. My dad always told me, pay yourself first, ever since I started working at 15 years old. Right. But your paycheck, the middle class without a financial education and the poor working class, this is how their cash flows. This is how their cash flow. They get a paycheck. This is Robert Kiyosaki stuff. That's the paycheck is digital now. And the first stop that paycheck makes is taxes. Boom. Social Security hits you, and then your federal tax hits you. Now you got 6.2%. 6.2%. So then you're looking at almost 13.7% of taxes coming out of your paycheck. And so I'm asking this for Mimosa because she asked me about the home-based business. Let me tell you all something. And please, you all get this if you don't get anything else, because I'm teaching you things. And I teach in public schools. I know the curriculum of other public schools, especially when it comes to money and finance and credit. You don't learn this in school. So you have to wrap your mind differently, right, when you're being taught this, because you don't learn it in school. And it's did strategically by design not to teach you this in school. But the United States of America, now let me type this in. And if you are able to type this in, whether you're watching this in a live or replay, I want you to type it in as well, because you need to make a mind message connection. The United States of America is not a country, people. It's a corporation. I promise you, it's a business. It's a business. The United States of America is not a country. It's a corporation. It's not a country, it's a corporation. And who is this company or corporation making money off of? You. Through your social security number that you're paying them in taxes off of your labor. If you do not make yourself a corporation and you're getting taxed off of your social security number. So now, and this is why home-based business help you to convert yourself from human resources. That's why your job is called HR, because you are the human resource to the United States. Before you see your paycheck, they get your paycheck. So you're not paying yourself first. So now, this is how your cash flow is flowing. And this is why the home-based business helps you to become a corporation. So you can save this 13.7%. You have to be in a corporation. You have got to stop being taxed as a human resource to the United States, giving your money to the IRS, right? Yeah, school is in session. You all super chatting me, so I'm going to give you your money's worth. So now you have the silent tax that I just shared with you. There's inflation. Now, this is where the middle class and poor money, this is how they cash flow. They first get hit in taxes, and then they get hit in liabilities. See, your mortgage or rent. Because, we have to keep up with the Joneses, right? You got to have a big house. You got to have the luxury vehicles. Some people are getting financed vehicles up to 60 months, 5 or 6 years. Middle class gotta look rich. Can't just be rich, right? You gotta have that big mortgage, or you gotta be renting out where you don't even have equity. So now your paycheck hit is liability. Your mortgage, your rent. Oh, and middle class gotta have that degree, right? Gotta have that degree. Yes, it's chess, not checkers. So you got to pay for that doctoral degree. You got to be $6,000 in student loan debt. So you get student loan debt. Right? Then you get your credit card debt because you don't know how to use your credit card as a leverage card to get assets. And now this is how your paycheck flows. Taxes, then liabilities. But this is what the rich and wealthy do. This is how their money flows. They get assets, and I'm running out of space. And they get money from their assets. And then they get taxed last. They pay the government last. And then their assets then pay for their liability. So they get the nice cars and the nice homes. But see, they get someone to pay their mortgage rent. Their mortgage rent doesn't come from their paycheck. They get real estate. What are some other assets that the rich and wealthy have? They get gold, silver, business credit. Even Bitcoin. I can get into gold, silver, and Bitcoin, but so they get cash flowing assets, right? And for example, when you have real estate and you have a tenant, and listen, I put assets, I put business credit or debt in the asset column, because once you take out a loan, a debt for business purposes, now Mimosa says she don't need luxury. I need luxury. I love luxury. I'm not trying to live my life frugal, but I'm going to get somebody else to pay for my luxury. It's not going to be paid by my paycheck. And listen, don't think I didn't start out this way. When I graduated college, I took a $5,000 Discover credit card and bought my first rental property, right? And then I had my daughter at 21, got married at 24. And when I had my daughter, I felt like everybody else, right? I need to get a job with benefits. So I stepped away from entrepreneurship for some years and went to the plantation. And I became a human resource, and I began to work for the government and not for myself anymore, right? And so I had to come back to this person. It took my divorce for me to come back to that person that I was at 21 and that mindset I had. But I'm telling you, I took a $5,000 Discover card that I got from college, and I had my first investment property, right? The one said one more asset is Forex. I would put that. I don't know much about Forex. And I would also say day trading, stocks. I wouldn't do stocks for the long term, but I definitely would trade it. Day trading or swing trading, because the stocks are very volatile, right? So a lot of people are putting assets, but I'm talking about cash flowing assets. I want you all to get cash flowing assets. Art pieces is very good as well. I've heard Jay-Z discuss that in his many of his rhymes about investing in art and the appreciation. So yes, that is an asset if you had a financial cue to select those art. So this is how their cash flow. They get the assets and the money flows to them. This is how you pay yourself first. This is how you pay yourself first. See, this money from their assets flows to them. It doesn't flow to the IRS. They don't get taxed on it. They don't give 13% of their money up. It flows to them, and then they pay taxes last. And their taxes are less because of the type of money that they get from the asset column. So do you all understand this? Yes or no? We're in credit class. I want you all to hashtag credit class. Do that for me. Hashtag credit class. Another thing I want to do for the month of July, I've already set my goals, is to make a curriculum to teach you all this so you can have a curriculum to go by. I work in the public schools. There's no reason why I should not have a curriculum to teach you all this. I know about curriculum and I know how they work. Right. So I want you all to put hashtag credit class. The number one rule of the wealth is to pay yourself first. The middle and poor working class pay the highest in taxes. So that's why the rich will always continue to be rich and wealthy, because they understand this financial education principle. They understand these creed and they live by it. They understand how to play the game and they have the knowledge to play it. So Jimbo G says, I am 175,000 student loan debt, but we're leveraging and pay it down. Mutual funds, stocks, gold, and more. Jimbo G, let me tell you this. And great, leverage that money, please do. I had someone to give me their credit report. They wanted a credit analysis. And they were about, I think, $150,000 in student loan debt. And I looked at their occupation on their credit report and it didn't line up to me because they were a truck driver, right? And I said, why would a truck driver be $150,000 in student loan debt when you're not using a degree to drive trucks? This person responded to me that, well, I had aspirations of being this big college coach, and I thought I was going to need a higher degree for that position. And then I just decided I would drive trucks. What a waste of abuse of student loan. So what that translated to me was, Queen, I was in college. I took out student loan. I abused it. Probably didn't use it to leverage. And now just you have a job that can't even repay that debt back. Driving trucks. So please don't be like that. If you're going to get student loans, use it to leverage. My daughter is now in college. She get approved for student loans with low debt. The first thing we're going to look at with her is in using that money to invest in rental income, cash flowing real estate income, right? So inflation is the second tax, the silent income killer. The middle class and poor working class, they don't invest in income producing assets. They just don't. They do not invest in income producing assets. And this is where we have to change the game, right? And so now I have to teach you how to use credit to get these assets. Now let's go back to real estate. And I want to ask you all this question because I need a sip of water real quick. I feel like a preacher in the pulpit. So I need a sip of water real quick. But I want to ask you all this question while I go get some water. Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, right? McDonald's franchise, Ray Kroc. What business is Ray Kroc in? I want you all to answer this. Make a mind message connection. We haven't created class. You all are my students. So you're going to have to participate. The one, thank you for that $2 super chat. Let me go get a cup of water. Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's. What business is he in? You're welcome. You're welcome, hon. All right, see answers coming in. Okay, Jesus says real estate. Derica, real estate. Queen B, real estate. Kendall, real estate. May mess that name up. Karma, real estate. Someone said the truck driver could probably teach people to drive truck. That's true, but those student loans were old, so that wasn't the purpose of is using it. But he could have took the student loan out to start a truck driving business, but that was not what that person did with that. He's in a real estate business. Yes, if you can buy assets with student loan, that's a smart move. Owning the land that the business is on. Yes. So I have a smart class. Ray Kroc is in the real estate business. He's not in the burger business. He's not in the hamburger business. If you watch the movie The Founder, right, you will know he's in real estate. That when Ray Kroc first joined businesses with the McDonald's brothers, they were in a partnership or a franchise-ship. And Ray Kroc was living hand to check. He was a great salesman. He did the marketing and the sales, but he mortgaged up his house, right? Okay. And he was living paycheck to paycheck, and he went to the bank, tried to get a loan, but he didn't have any assets. They said, we cannot give you a loan, right? Because you don't have assets. And an attorney overheard the conversation. And this is where the law of attraction came in for Ray Kroc. And the attorney said, you know what, Mr. Kroc, you don't know what business you're in. You think you're in the hamburger business, but you should be in the real estate business. See, anyone can make a good burger, right? Better than McDonald's. And I'm telling you, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you definitely should watch The Founder by Ray Kroc. That's a movie that you definitely should watch, whether you're in home-based business or whatever the situation may be, right? That's a movie that you definitely need to watch. So they said, look, you need to get assets. Ray Kroc then got out of his mindset of thinking he was in a food service business, as Tyrone say, and he began to own the land that the franchisees built the McDonald's on, right? And when he began to own the land, he got assets. See, 300 years ago, land was wealth. 300 years ago. Class, you all gonna have to stay with me because I'm dropping some jewels. I'm dropping some, Now, it wasn't the franchise. It was not the franchise. See, McDonald's brothers had the vision. They had the system. If you watch that movie, they had the system. They was on tennis courts saying, how can we teach teenagers this system and systematically improve our product and have a system so easy to follow that a teenager, a 16, 17, 18-year-old teenager can do it. And this is why you all have to change your mindset about network marketing and home-based business. You're going to have to change your mindset. You got to have a system, and that system has to leverage other people. So back to Ray Kroc, and that land was wealth 200 years ago. Land is still wealth, right? There's still asset and wealth. And so when he began to own the land that the franchisees had to build the McDonald's from, not only did that improve his cash flow, thank you, Debbie, for the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. But now it position him financially where the McDonald's brothers couldn't even afford to fight against him in court to keep the name McDonald's, to keep the business, because now he had the financial assets. He had real assets, not a franchise, not a system. This is another reason why I like the home-based business that I'm in, because they have equity max. It has land in California. Not only does it improve your credit, but it gives you cash flowing land investing opportunity. See, I have a condo, and that's real estate. I have a tenant. The tenant is my asset right now that produces me cash flow. But I do understand that I have to get land cash flowing land as well, right? Yes, so cash flowing land is the key, right? Cash flowing land is the key. So then factories and production became wealth. That's where Henry Ford came in, making the Ford cars and motor, factory, JP Morgan, the banks, who's the big oil? What's his name? Was it Rockefeller? The oil guru, John D. Rockefeller. That's when, see, a lot of people think, even with Madam C.J. Walker, you want to know why Madam C.J. Walker became a millionaire during the Great Depression? It's not that her, like Ray Kroc, that her hair products results was so much better than the lady that she got the formula or learned the formula from for the hair products. Have you all watched Madam C.J. Walker? If you watched it, right, you know that she found the formula for the lady that she was working for the hair products. So it wasn't a hair product because her and the lady both was in competition. What made Madam C.J. Walker a millionaire during the Great Depression is she decided to leverage other people to sell her products. See, the lady denied Madam C.J. Walker the opportunity to sell her products. She felt like Madam C.J. Walker didn't have the appearance or the physical appearance that she needed to sell her product. She didn't look at Madam C.J. Walker was she a good salesman. She looked at her appearance. And so Madam C.J. Walker said, well, if you don't want me to sell your products, I'll make my own. And she found and configured the formula to give people their hair product, right? So Madam C.J. Walker decided to do what you all don't understand. Ray Kroc understood this, but he combined this with land. You have to leverage other people. You have to leverage other people. My mentor in the home-based business, Brian Bean, I leverage him. I have days where I don't feel like live streaming. I don't feel like talking about. I share Brian's video on my page. People come to me, ask me about the home-based business. I leverage his skill. I leverage his income from the home-based business, $10,000 a month. I leverage his knowledge. I leverage other people that enroll with me. So when I have people that come to me about the home-based business and they want to know, what if I can't get customers? I feel sorry for the people because they don't understand why they need a home-based business. Right, Curtis? I would rather earn 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% on my own. So Ray Kroc, Madam C.J. Walker, even in a recession, that's why I'm telling you all the home-based business is a recession proof. It's number one, because it makes you a corporation. If you have a paycheck, between inflation, we're going to see prices increase more in August, and your taxes coming out of your paycheck at 13, 14%, you have 15, 20% of your paycheck getting taxed out. The home-based business help you to become a corporation, right? From being an employee to an entrepreneur. That's number one. A corporation is just a legal document that creates a legal body. So you don't have car payments if you're a corporation. You have payments that you're making on a vehicle for business purposes. Let me say that again, because it might go over some of your head. When you are a corporation, you do not have car payments. You have payments that you are making into your corporation, which means it's tax deductible, right? You don't have insurance payments. You don't have repairs or maintenance to your home or your vehicles. And even your meals and expenses are tax deductible. So there are tax advantages of a corporation. Whether you get one person to join you in the business or not, this is a must if you want to become wealthier and rich. Now, I'm going to give you a definition of wealth, right? This is my definition of wealth, and I'm going to type it in as I thank Ashley for the $9.99 super chat. This is my definition of wealth. Wealth is my definition, and thank you for the $9.99 super chat again, Ashley, is when you don't have to depend on your income but passive cash flow. That's my definition of wealth. Because I was going to make I was going to make a video called, if I can find my title, 3 kinds of financial freedom, right? In the spirit of 4th of July. And my number one financial freedom was going to be passive income. Then you have the second type, which is location freedom. You can do it from anywhere. And the third type is time freedom. It's time freedom. See, that's why I don't allow people to randomly call my phone and say, hey, this is my number. Call me. I need to talk to you about credit. I don't allow people to waste my time like that. Location freedom. Can you do it from anywhere? If you are not taxed as a corporation, right, you will always be in the rat race. I'm just going to tell you. Say that again. If you are taxed as a corporation, can someone type that for me? You will always be in the rat race. What's the rat race? The rat race is when your bills are due monthly in a circular way. See, on the 1st, you got to pay the mortgage. On the 3rd, you got to pay the car note. On the 15th, you got to pay the internet bill, your cell phone bill. On the 28th, you got to pay credit card bill. See, all your bills come in circular, right? And you got one linear income tackling a circular rotation. If you don't ever get taxed at a corporation, you're going to always be running in that wheel, which let me show you our picture of what the rat race look like. So you all can get it, because I know I have some advanced students in the class and some beginners in the class. So let me give you a visual. I believe in visual learning. I hate lecturing. I think that's the lowest form of education. I hate lecturing, but so let me show you this graph. This is what the rat race look like. And you're trying to attack it with one income. Mimosa, let me share this and I'll answer that question. I'll get back to answering questions. There you go. This is you. You working hard for money. See, the rich and wealthy understand how to make money work hard for them. They know how to employ their money. If you're not in a corporation, you can come on here, my platform. You can tell me you know about stocks, you know about Forex, you know about how to get approved for credit cards. But until you learn how to employ your money and to pay yourself first and stop paying the government in form of taxes legally and inflation, you're always going to be in this rat race. You work hard for money. You get the income. Your hard-earned money, then here goes the bill. But this rat race doesn't have taxes first. I would have put taxes because that's who get paid first out of your paycheck. Federal and Social Security and Medicaid. Then here comes the bills, your responsibility. Then you got your lifestyle. You know, people, I work so hard for this money. I deserve a little vacation. Or I deserve that purse. Or I deserve those, you know, shoes. Or I deserve this new outfit or whatever. So you want that gratification because you work hard. You don't have any savings. Now you got to pay debt back. You got to pay the banks back because now you have credit card debt and loan, and you have credit card debt because you don't know how to keep more of the money that you make from your job. Did you all know that from January, let me see, up to, what is it? May, you are working to pay back taxes? Did you all know that? Mimosa, you don't need a Schedule C or a 1099. When you join the home-based business, you will get a 1099 at the end of the year. But automatically, your paycheck is adjusted, right? And let me pull up. Your paycheck is adjusted to reflect that now you're a business owner and you're not getting taxes high. Right? So let me try to pull up this website. So now you're getting more money out of your paycheck and you're paying less in taxes. So let me pull this up. So that's where the extra or the additional $300 to $600 come in. This wasn't the link I wanted to pull up. Give me. Give me 1 second. Oh, this is the first. See, this is the most. It keep bringing me to the home page. I didn't want to show that, but this is the first step for people who want to invest in stocks and real estate. This is the first step they got to do is learn how to get more money out their paycheck. So this is the, I think the link for that, where you can put your name if you want to know more about that. I made a lot of bit.ly links to shorten it. On average, people are getting $300-$600. And then I always people have, and the reason why I know people don't understand this because I have people that question me and they will ask, right? What if I can't get customer? You have to be the first customer first. You have to get yourself in. You have to adjust your paycheck. You have to get more money out of your paycheck. You have to stop getting the taxes taken out of your paycheck. That's why I tell people, don't worry about getting customers. Get yourself first. See about bringing $300 or $600 more into your household. No, if you're a sole proprietor, you are taxed 30 to 40%. So then I have people that tell me, well, what I'm going to do, Queen, is I'm going to start my own business because you know what? I want to get an LLC. Let me tell you something that you all don't know as well. In real estate, limited liability company, and it tells you limited liability. limited, will not protect you if your tenant has a good attorney. They will eat your LLC apart. You need insurance as a if you don't have 5 or more rental properties, you don't need an LLC, right? That's only for people that get 5 or more, and now you need to incorporate that and be an LLC. You can get the same. You need that insurance as well. You need to get protection insurance. So, and this is why most people tell me that they're getting their home base, they're going to start their own business. This is what I include or share with them. 9 out of 10 businesses, startup business on your own within 10 years, 5 years fail. 9 out of 10 fail. You don't have a system, you don't have leverage, and a lot of people don't have the capital to sustain it. But they'll be confident in paying thousands of dollars for someone to incorporate their business concept. They'll pay up to $5,000. You can go on inkfile.com and get a corporation for $50 to $100, an LLC. You also need to know that your LLC is, as much as possible, have operations agreements in it that will protect you legally. But again, LLC is limited liability. You still have limited liability. You need, right, insurance if you want to rent real estate. It's the first thing. If you don't have 5 or more rental properties, you shouldn't be paying thousands of dollars to get an LLC. It's not going to protect you. That's number one. Most businesses fail within the first 5 years, 9 out of 10. And so then the ones that last past 5 years, another 9 out of 10 fail again. So cash flow is twofold. It's not just when your money is making money. And cash flow, let me answer this. Someone said for real estate, you need a corporation. That is not true. Let me show you all this, because you have to. And you know what? People that make these comments, they have no firsthand knowledge. You know, when you go to court, even if you go to court for a debt collection, and this is why I'm good at getting debt collectors or collections out for people credit report, because a debt collector has no firsthand knowledge of you or if that account is accurate, and if they can't prove it, I'm trying to think. What's the name of it? My private Facebook group, Investing. Okay, investing in multi. Let me see, can I find my private Facebook group I'm in? Let me pull this up. I paid $1,400 for this. And we all discussing this private Facebook group that if you don't have 5 or more rental properties, you don't need a corporation. I can't think of the group. Hold on. Let me see. If I find a group, because it's with Julian Gordon. If you all know Julian, following him. He teaches all in his class. I paid $1,400 just to be in the class. That you do not need a corporation for real estate investing, but you need insurance to protect yourself, because a good attorney will eat you alive, even with the corporation, because it tells you that it's limited liability. So he's been featured on, Dr. Boyce Watkins, a lot of people. I can't. Okay, Judy Gordon. Okay, here it is, the multi-family movement. Let me share you all. And that's why I tell people you need to invest in financial education. So let me share this group with you. Oh, okay, that was a question. No, you do not. That's something that, I don't know, people sell to you on Facebook so you can pay them $5,000 to incorporate. Okay, she said, thanks. Miss Privilege, why I share this group with them, can you let the people know, since you've been working at legal debt collectors, that validation is not writing a debt collector asking them if they're legal to collect in your state. Show me I owe what you say that I owe. See, that's why a lot of people end up paying back debt collectors, because they don't understand what true validation is. So this is the private Facebook group that I'm in. Before I even invested in a property, I took the classes, taking the course, still taking it, because, people say scared money doesn't make money. But I tell you what, it sure will lose money if you make a bad investment, right? So this is him, Julian. Let me make sure I like that. Private. That means you got to pay to play in this group. And we talk about the different changes, the different investment properties, the different, people. We analyze the deal. People post in the group, hey, I found this deal, single family union bank owned. Let's analyze the deal. Let's see if that's a good deal. We just don't go out here blindsided, right, and make investments. So that's leveraging people. You can't get rich on your own. You can't get rich on your own. You can't find great investments on your own. So no, if you don't have 5 or more rentals, you definitely need insurance, but you do not need to incorporate. Yes, protects up to $1 million. Because again, if they have a good attorney, they will eat up your limited liability protection in part. So definitely get that insurance first. What about setting up a 501c3, put in the business in a nonprofit name? I've set up a lot of 501c3s. I mean, same thing with 501c3s. Even if you have that in a nonprofit, you still can get sued. Ask any church pastor, So you still need that liability insurance. Corporations do not protect you against lawsuits. I'm interested in home-based business. I believe the first step is to get my credit straight. You can go to my website, but also if you don't have a lot of issues with your credit, this home-based business, meaning that when I say a lot of issues, let's say you have very minor things on your credit report reporting negatively, such as maybe 1 or 2 collections account, a charge off, right? This company also helps with your credit as well. It's called the Credit Max program. So it will assist and help with your credit as well. However, inquiry removals, bankruptcies, 5 or more charge off and collections, if your credit is a little bit more damaged and dent, then I definitely would go seek me. A lot of people have sought me for the credit repair, and they get their credit scores up and they leverage their credit score as a testimonial, right, for the business. All right. So go to fixmycreditandcash.com and click on the tab Credit Help. That's where you have to get started. Somebody said, well, bring what back to my remembrance? What did I miss? Because I know I be all over the place. Yes, you don't need a corporation to start a real estate business. Definitely don't. I have looked into Julie many times, haven't purchased a course yet, but seems great. Exactly. Yes. What did I miss? Somebody said bring something back to my remembrance. All right. For business credit, you need an LLC. I would suggest that for business credit, but you do understand that even if you get an LLC for business credit, you can get approval. If your personal credit is used as leverage, right, to get approval, that means you will be a PG, a personal guarantor. Then your LLC does not have to be seasoned, right? It could be 2 weeks old, 1 week old. If your personal credit is used as a personal guarantee, I don't do the net 30 accounts. A lot of people sell business credit, meaning that a net 30 vendor accounts, which is not business credit cards from the major companies like Amex or Chase, right? But maybe a gas store, department store card, a gas card, Home Depot, Lowe's. Those are examples of Quill. Quill are some examples of net 30s account. So I don't believe in starting with those accounts. I just said just start with your personal credit and get that capital from there. How do you make yourself a corporation? Join the home-based business for a one-time investment of $228. That's how you make yourself a corporation. You get the same tax deductions as, and let me try to pull up this for you. The same tax deduction as if you were the owner of a Ray Kroc McDonald's franchise. And so that's what you have to do. So let me see if I can pull up this PowerPoint real quick to show you that. And maybe I can't, I don't know. I wasn't prepared to give that on the home-based business, but let me try to pull that up and then I'm signing off. So people, this is why Dun & Bradstreet, no, use your personal credit to build your home-based business. It'll take Dun & Bradstreet, and sometimes you have to pay for that. Just know with business credit that you want to get the credit cards that do not report to your personal credit report. So definitely do that. You want the credit cards that do not report to your personal credit report. Dun & Bradstreet is a very lengthy route to take to build business credit, right? So let me see if I can pull this up real quick and see if there's any more questions that I can answer because I got on early. So I can, I got time to answer a couple of more questions because it's not late. Try to pull up this PDF. All right, good to know. The multifamily is a private Facebook group, just like the home-based business is a private Facebook group. You have to pay to play, meaning that you have to have membership in those groups. Even with the home-based business, the same rules. You're not going to get accepted into that multifamily movement group if you are a member. Do you need an EIN? No. When starting your business credit, you need to start out using your personal credit to mirror that, and you don't have to start with an EIN. No. But I definitely would get the business credit cards that will not report on my personal credit score, so you won't be showing that debt. My ex owns a daycare. He purchased the insurance because the parents love to sue for things. Exactly. I started a daycare as well. That was my second business that I started after I did my rental property. Okay, maybe there's something there. All right, so here's the question about debt collector. In legal collections, law firms must follow the federal and state laws. It can get very ugly. Exactly. And they have to also follow the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act. So a lot of people try to do things for free, and those free templates that you get from Google. I have not seen it, not one that helps you be able to actually make them validate the debt under the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act. So when a lot of people don't believe that debt validation works, it works. You just don't have the letter, the language, and the law. And you're not asking them to validate under the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act. And when you don't do that, then you will be skeptical to pay debt collectors, and they will be able to take you to court, right? Also, when asking for validation, by knowing the law, the language, right, and the legality, you also want to send that information certified, mail with a return receipt, because they have to sign. You need a signature. I tell people all the time, if it's not written, it's not real. In the event that they take you to court, you need to show that you asked for a proper validation according to the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act. Yes, it is easy and free to apply for an EIN. So if people did want to apply for an EIN, that you can apply on the IRS website for free. Okay, inmate transitional housing is good business. That's good news. I definitely probably wouldn't want to do that, but great news. My mother retired from the Mississippi Department of Corrections. But if that's your niche, that's great. Okay, send me an email, ld@fixmycreditandcash.com. Because I know if you work for legal debt collectors, you're going to be like me. You're not going to put all the information out here for free. Send me an email. LLC is like $350. Yeah, that's the cost to be the boss. If you want to do business, you got to pay business fee. That's why I tell people, why wouldn't you get business credit? There's so much capital that you need to invest in the business. So that's my email, Miss Privilege. You can send me an email. All right. Curtis Wells. Chase Inc. should not be reported on your personal credit. If you have a Chase Inc. business card, that should not be reported on your personal credit. Wells Fargo should. Oh yeah, you got there. So Curtis is right. I don't think Wells Fargo, no, because I have Wells Fargo business credit card as well. They don't report on my personal credit. And Chase Business Inc. does not as well. Let me give you all a link for Chase Business Inc. while I read this question. I have a 733. A 733, how can I get to 850? I have one secured Capital One, two unsecured, HB and USSA, HSBC. I have one personal line of credit. On my history, first of all, the Real Boxing Fan, why I pull up this link, will you tell me why you want an 850 credit score? And I'm not asking you to tell me because it's a perfect credit score, right? What's your strategy to do with an 850? And the reason why I'm asking is because you can do just as much with a 750 as you can with an 850. Nothing really changes with that, but it doesn't really matter if you have a 750 or 850 if you're not planning on using credit to create cash flow. All right, you all. So I put that link in there to Chase Business Inc. Let me share this with you all. And then I'm gonna have 10 more minutes and I'm gonna wrap it up because this is a 2 hour long live stream. But I do like that you all are hungry, right? You gotta be hungry, as Les Brown would say. And then I have some people that'll watch the replay and say it's too long. But how long is too long when you never been taught this in school and you don't have a financial education? 3 hours shouldn't be long enough for you to sit and listen to something to free yourself financially. I'm trying to find my PowerPoint on that home-based business before I log off though. I'm trying to hurry up for 10 minutes. It's gone. So that's the link that I'm sharing with you all about the Chase business credit card that does not report on your personal credit report. Now, remember again, the pre-qualifications are that you must not have any bankruptcy or foreclosure. You must not have any late payments, charge off, or collections reporting within the last 2 years. And you must not have any more than 5 hard pulls or inquiries on your credit report. If you have any of those things, you will be automatically denied. Also, if you have a new business, right, and you want to put your future or projected income, just know that there is an income amount that you need to put. If you put a very high number in, you will have to produce a lot of paperwork showing why you figured that your business would generate $500,000 in 2 years. So you want to keep that projected income at an amount that will not require you to have to produce all of that paperwork on file. Do not ask me what the amount is because that's questions that people pay me to answer, right? When they're trying to get approved for business credit. So does debt validation? Debt validation goes under the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act. Yeah. Yes, the EIN is free. Yes, we are trained in the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. We are required by our clients to test on those. Exactly. And so when people send you out a validation letter and they don't have any law from the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, I'm pretty sure you all just laugh at that. Because you know that's a rookie sending you a letter. And if they don't pay you anything or collection, that sooner after 30 days, you're going to take them to court. Yeah, it has to be. Hold on. I look like I have some comments while I was looking for that. Not if you have a home-based business, Jimbo G, you do not have to pay business taxes yearly. Jimbo, that's true and not true. They can show you proof of the debt, but if you don't know the law that an itemized printout of a bill is not validation under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, then you'll file for that, especially on medical bills. Soon as they send you a bill from ABC Hospital, you'll say, oh, they validated the debt, but that's not validation. Now, let me tell you all something about the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act and the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You know that 609 letters that people have made thousands of dollars off of? So I'm gonna drop you another secret. Why? Because you stayed on all the way to the end. And it's gonna be some people who have a short attention span, who's not gonna watch this video all the way to the end, and they're gonna miss out on this. So because you stayed all the way to the end, let me share this with you. Those 609 letters that people sell you, that's asking for a signature and blue ink, whatever it says, physical verification, that's not under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, people. That's really under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Now, there is something in the 609 that requests a signature, but it can be an e-signature, or it can be proof or video footage of you at the place of business agreeing to a contract, or some type of physical verification. But this is what people get it wrong and twisted it. See, a contract showing your signature does not prove that it's reporting wrong on your credit report. A contract showing your signature is just showing that you made a contractual agreement to pay that company. But that does not mean that it's reporting inaccurately on your credit report. So you have to challenge that this is reporting inaccurately, incomplete, or unverifiable. Now, the only time you want to see a contract, if you are a victim of identity theft and you are stating, I did not enter into a contractual agreement for this account. But a lot of you all are not victims of identity theft. People, I need you all to put on your thinking caps just for a minute. Let's put it on just for a minute. If them producing a contract with your signature on it would delete items off of your credit report, how easy is for them to be able to produce that student loan that you enter into a contractual agreement with, whether it's e-signature or your physical signature? You don't think they lose that paperwork, do they? You think they will lose student loan paperwork with your signature when you can't get rid of that debt through a bankruptcy, when you owe them thousands? Do you think the schools or institutions will lose their paperwork? No. Do you think when you went sign for that vehicle, that the vehicle that you signed for, they would just lose that paperwork and they won't be able to repossess that vehicle? You think they're going to lose that paperwork so they won't be able to repossess that vehicle for you? Do you think if your FHA or your mortgage loan is reporting inaccurate, incomplete, unverified, and you write the credit agencies and ask them to produce the paperwork bearing your signature, and then some of these 609 letters say in wet blue ink, do you think they're going to lose that paperwork to your mortgage so they can't come back and foreclose on that property? Signed paperwork just means your contractual agreement. 609 is the biggest scam out here that people are investing in. So that's to chase. Let me put my website. So they took a law from the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act because you did not enter into a contractual agreement with the debt collector that bought your debt, did you? And they put 609 on there. And they've been making thousands of dollars off it ever since. And people are still buying 609 dispute letters. They're still believing that if the credit agencies can't produce the original paperwork with your signed signature, they must delete it off your credit report, and that is not true. The credit agencies have to delete accounts off your credit report that are reporting inaccurate, incomplete, and unverified, right? So yeah, just put on your thinking caps. Right, they're not losing their paperwork. They're not losing it. They're not losing their paperwork. Private student loans, Mimosa, if you the one, you're kind of annoying me. And I'm gonna say that in my Michael Jackson voice with love, because you're saying stuff that is inaccurate. You don't need a signed contract. You don't need a signed contract. They can produce a signed contract. The original creditor can produce a signed contract in a heartbeat on you. And put on your thinking caps again, you don't sign a contract when you get approved for credit card or not approved. You complete an application and you click a box saying you agree to the terms. And when you don't agree to the terms of repayment, then you have something that's called a charge-off reporting. So if you have a charge-off or a credit card debt that's sold to a debt collection agency like Credit One, LVNV funding, that pay, that buy these credit card debts, why would you ask for a contract bearing your signature when you never enter into a contractual agreement to get the credit card in the first place? So that definitely won't work for credit card and charge-off accounts. Yeah, just stay all the way to the end. I'm gonna start dropping nuggets all the way to the end. So the one, maybe you are asking me this in question form. I didn't see a question mark. So maybe this is a question you were asking me and not a comment, right? Private student loans, can they get removed? Anything. But this is the thing. This is the thing people think about student loan. I thought this about student loan. So I'm not judging at all. But this is what people think about student loans. They think if I get it deleted off my credit report, I don't owe that debt. Oh my God, just delete it from Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. That's not true. That is not true. You don't owe Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. Your credit, they are just paid to share your credit profile with banks and lenders that you apply for loans. You cannot have a student loan report on your credit report. You still owe that student loan, and those colleges and universities will come after you for the debt if you're not paying. And if it's reporting inaccurate, incomplete, anything on your credit report that's reported inaccurate, incomplete, or unverifiable can be deleted, right? But if you get back into negative standing with them, it also can be reinstated. So let's say your student loan, private or federal, right, was reporting an inaccurate balance. See, a lot of people think unverifiable means they can produce the contract. That is not what unverifiable means under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Unverifiable means there are some discrepancies of how their account is reporting that will cause it to not be 100% verifiable and accurate when it was placed on your credit report. So any and everything can be legally deleted and removed, even bankruptcy, if it's not reporting 100% accurate information. Now that I said bankruptcy, let's get on this real quick. Bankruptcies do require your signature in wet ink. A bankruptcy does require that. And so, and knowing that, right, it is always good to request that, but it's not under the 609. It's not stating the way it's stating. Because this is why bankruptcies are not directly reported to the credit agencies directly from the courthouse. If you call the courthouse and you ask the courthouse, I have this bankruptcy, chapter 7 or whatever, report on my credit report. Do you report it to the credit agencies? The courthouse will tell you, no, we do not provide any of your information. But it's a public site that the credit agencies go to and retrieve your bankruptcy information and then place it on there. So they got it through a third party. So now how the strategy works is, if you didn't have my original wet ink signature on this contract, and if the courthouse then provides you the information, the original source, then how was this verified to be placed on my credit report? So that's where bankruptcy comes in, that is unverifiable because the original source didn't report it, which was the courthouse. If that makes sense. So you want to do credit repair, that's some knowledge for you. You need to know how to use the laws. Yeah, bankruptcies are archived and they pull them. You're welcome. All right. Dropping jewels. All right, so now I'm over my 10-minute. Mimosa says, yes, private student loans can be removed. That's true. Queen of credit, they will go after you. Oh yeah, student loans will go after you even after you die. If you got something they can repossess, they'll go after you. Did you all know? And I'm glad you say that. Let's get back to taxes real quick. If you do not get yourself taxed as a corporation, you will pay taxes. And let me see, can I find it in my notes? Because don't think I just be on here blabbing. I have a lot of notes, but it depends on what you all ask. For the people that sometimes that's living paycheck to paycheck, that get on my live stream and say she was all over the place. Well, hey, it's a live stream, so I'm answering questions. But you'll get taxed when you earn, when you spend, when you save money, and when you die. And this is why the poor, the working poor, and the middle class will stay that way if you don't learn how to get taxed as a corporation. You'll get taxed when you earn money, when you spend money, when you save money. How do I get taxed when I save money, Queen? Because that $1,000 you saved 10 years ago in 2010 won't buy you the same amount of goods and services that it will buy you in 2020. So it depreciates in value, and you're saving that money, and prices are increasing every day. And that's the silent tax that we call inflation. So you're going to get taxed when you save money, when you spend money, when you earn money, and even when you die, you get taxed. Even if you have a life insurance policy, it's going to be taxed. And your family won't even get the full policy. So if you don't learn this tax game, you'll always live paycheck to paycheck. You'll always be in the rat race. Okay. Thank you, Dewan. Yeah, and my Michael Jackson. With love. Yep. Say it, yep. Kelly R. Williams. That's a nice name. Remind me of the real estate. All right, go to my website, www.fixmycreditandcash.com. Jesus and Justin are having problems. Let me see what they're talking about. You know how to help you, Justin, pay down, if you really want to pay down your credit card debts fast, is when you get in the home-based business and you get $300 to $600 out of your paycheck. See, that stuff Dave Ramsey is talking about, get a second job. Baby, people don't have one jobs now. So it just let you know Dave Ramsey stuff is just outdated. People don't have one. People are hoping to keep one job now. So get 2 jobs. And then I've heard people say, well, I had to reduce my hours on my second job because I was getting what? Tax. I was paying back. I had to owe back. I wasn't getting my tax returns. And so I had to reduce my hours. So if you want a way to get $300 to $600 out of paycheck, get a home-based business. All right. So that's my website for Kelly Williams. The book of credit. So my utilization has jumped from 35 to 70%. At the same time, my other cards lowered limits by a few thousand too. Jesus says, there you go. You were bad. You were bad for business. You were beating them at their own game. They were never. I'm trying to see what Justin said. Your utilization jumped from 35% to like 75. So that means that your debt is higher, is what you're saying? Zena, pay for delete. I don't do that. I mean, just do a credit consultation and we'll go from there. Go to my website under credit help. Yeah, somebody said they'll repossess your casket. I'm trying to say, Justin, what's going on? You and Jesus are just chatting. I'm not getting. I have to stroll back up. So let me go to Justin real quick and see where he started his chat. Justin says, my Citibank card decided to up and close my account without any late fees. Citibank, why would you do that to Justin? In my 6 years of history. What? And see, Amex, Justin, that's why I asked. Amex have been doing this as well. And took you 100. No, it's legal. That's why I tell people, if you got credit cards, try to use them, try to keep them open. But I have a Citi card. I think Citibank is different. And Citi card has been very good to me. They, sorry, put up on my phone.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Sorry, I didn't call your name. I said Citi card. But they actually increased my credit limit and have 0% balance transfer. There's no way to avoid that, Justin. Unfortunately, this is happening with a lot of people with Amex as well. The banks know it's a recession and they cut off the limits, in order to protect themselves from getting default accounts. Okay. Yes, Chase also do the 524 rules, meaning that you can't have 5 or more hard pulls or inquiries in 2 years. So that's why I said that 2 years for get business credit is also applying for inquiries as well, late payments, charge off, and collection. Okay, Ms. Prilla said, thank you. I'm thirsty as the devil. I'm thirsty too. I think I need some more water. I'm thirsty as the devil. I've been furloughed since March 19 on both jobs. Well, look. Are you still getting a paycheck with your furlough? Because I can give you a paycheck increase. If you're still getting a paycheck, we can get you more money out that paycheck, even though your hours are being reduced through the home-based business. Man, everybody thirsty. Let me get some more water. I'll be back. Now the question is, how many more cups of water I can drink before I have to take a restroom break? Everybody thirsty, right? We want to get recession ready. This economy is going to be bankrupt by the king of debt. So let's talk. We don't have nothing to do right now but get our money up, right? Let's see. My thought on infinite banking. And then Justin says, Roth Solo, 401ks. Justin, I kind of talked about 401ks earlier. Infinite banking is good in this place. It's not really a strategy I will use right now, right? But I really believe in velocity banking to really help you pay down your mortgage for the people that really want to get out of mortgage debt, which is using credit cards to pay on your house, against your house. Infinite banking, not something I would personally do in a recession, right? And maybe some advantages, but if you take out a loan against the money that you're depositing in there, you charge a certain percentage anyway. But for a long-term strategy in a thriving economy, I think it's a good tool for people that want to research and get into that. All right. Is it a good idea for guys to get rising? For guys to get rising their credit limit and payment back on child support? I don't know. That's a personal question. If you can get an increase on credit limit at 0% interest rate, and you're trying to catch up on your back child support, I wouldn't think that's a bad idea or a bad concept. Jesus, will you let me know how many thumbs up we have, please? James, everyone tell James, welcome. This is the first time ever I heard about you. What's your Facebook page? Everything with me is Queen of Credit, from Facebook to Instagram, even Twitter. I think I'm maxed out on my personal page, so you may have to go to my James, you're on Facebook now, so you should see me on Credit and Cash Flow Conversation. That's my Facebook business page, right? But I think my personal page, I'm maxed out on my friends requests. Thank you so much. Jesus, how many thumbs up do we have? Velocity Banking. Yes, if you have one debt that you want to pay off, right? If you know your cash stack reserves is going to be up, Velocity Banking, if you have credit cards at zero balance and your only debt is your mortgage, and you have good balance transfer cards, which are rewards cards, or I call Mr. Mentor, I don't know if he's on, he called them leverage cards. If you have a good rewards card with 0% balance transfer, and you have cash reserves, and you just want to pay down that mortgage debt, right? Then Velocity Banking is a great strategy to apply. Y'all just joking now. A biodegradable casket. All right. Mimosa said Amex good. Amex has been good. Yes, Navy Federal has been great at not reducing credit limits. I tell people all the time that you right now want to be a part of a great credit union, whether it's Navy Federal, whether it's local, or Navy Federal and Penn Fed. They do great in times of recession. Justin, I'm going to give you the sad emoji. City Prestige, 18. Oh, a queen of credit. I always hate to hear when someone's credit line cut out, but that's okay, Justin. That's okay. I'm pretty sure your credit score is good. There are still other credit cards you can get, right? Baby, I was thinking I was going to get a part-time job to help with the home-based business. If you can find a part-time job, let me know. Jesus thinks infinite banking is a good idea, even in this recession. Jesus, even during these times, you think infinite banking is a good idea? All right, someone asked me about the home-based business, so let me share that real quick and go back up. I want to find it. Who asked me? It was a male that asked me about the home. Okay, here we go. It's home-based business is always good to start. Watch the beginning of this too, but let me share this with you. Okay. I'll try to share this with you. All right. So the financial, How do I move this away? Woo, all right. I'm getting a little better at this. I'm getting a little better at being technology savvy. So you have 4 challenges, everyone. You have 4 challenges. Inflation, I talked about that earlier. Prices will increase. And during a recession, we have to look at hyperinflation, which means prices increase 10 times as much. Higher debt. As a result, right, people are being furloughed, hours reduced, 600 stimulus ending July 25th or 26th. In the upcoming weeks, higher credit card balances increase. Then higher taxes, stimulus checks that's coming out have to be repaid. So as a result, taxes are going to increase going into 2021. Big businesses, 401ks drop drastically, right? So a lot of people 401ks have dropped as well. So we have these 4 challenges. This is the home-based business I promote and I'm a part of, but also have solutions. The home-based business, low startup costs, low overhead, lower taxes, higher income, right? Those are the solutions that you need to be implementing for these problems that we have. So leverage, everything is about leverage. If you don't, you can watch the beginning of this. I was more on home-based business. Now, everyone is not losing in this recession, right? You have people that are doing more than ever. You have Zoom, you have Southwest, you have Delta, you have United. All of these companies are thriving well. And let me share this with you all as well. You need to, now I won't say you need to, because that would be like giving you financial advice, right? But follow what these big businesses are doing. They are stacking their cash. They are filing bankruptcy to get rid of bad debt. And they are using credit/capital. Not in the form that we can use it, meaning using credit cards or getting, loans, or they're getting it from the government. That's our credit. These home-based, these business, the government, bank, bailing out these businesses. People, they are using this formula. They're using credit, bankruptcy to get rid of bad debt, and they're stacking cash. That's why I'm stating that you definitely want to stack any cash you have. So if you get $300 to $600 out of your paycheck, save that money, right? Don't be in such a rush to get rid of debt that's non-collateral anyway. I'm just being honest. And keep those credit cards in good standing because you will need them to help you with your essential bills. Everyone, thanks for the likes as well. So the 3 financial solution, this is my millionaire mentor. Leverage our experience on existing platforms. How to increase your cashflow.com. These are all of it. This is the founder. Both of their names are Brian Bean, which is the biggest income earner in the company at $10,000 a month right now, residually, passively, and Brian House, the founder of Making Wealth Real, MWR. So everything is about leverage. If you're just not coming in, I talked about earlier how Madam C.J. Walker, Ray Kroc, how she became a millionaire during the Great Depression because she understood leverage. And the woman that gave her the idea or the concept or grew her hair and her hair products, Madam C.J. Walker went to her and asked her, leverage me. I'm a testimonial. Look at my before and after pictures of my hair. And the woman did not want to leverage her. And she did not become wealthy. But Madam C.J. Walker leveraged and incorporated and got other women to come in and sell the business, right? We talk about our videos, our private Facebook group, Zoom training, for private Zoom training. Another thing you have to consider if you do your own business, You can have the legal part set up, but who's going to help train you? Where will you get the training? Where will you get the mindset motivation that you need to be an entrepreneur? Because being an entrepreneur and an employee are two different mindsets. It's two different mindsets. So what is your home-based business? What is your role? Number one, you expose people, right? Now, our private Facebook group is called Extra Digit because we want to add an extra digit to your finances or your paycheck, right? So if you're making $50,000 a year, let's add a zero and make it 500,000, right? Let's just add an extra digit. So we educate you. Then MWR execute the two objectives, right? They have the team of financial experts, more leverage, that will look at your paycheck, whether you're reduced in hours or furloughed. And you might be telling me, well, Queen, I don't have a paycheck. I'm one of the people that's collecting unemployment. And, you know, my paycheck, that may end in 6 months. What will I do? There will be other people that have paychecks that need more money out of their paycheck. And you need to market to those people, right? You need to market to those people. And so this team of financial experts, all you have to do is expose. We teach you how to do that in our private training and Facebook group. And they do the paycheck. They're certified financial planners, and they analyze your paycheck for you to see if you're overpaying in taxes, right? So again, you have these two objectives, your current lifestyle, but also your future lifestyle. You have to have other ways to make money besides your labor. So your current lifestyle, you need more money now, but your future lifestyle, you need more money, especially in 2021, because again, our President Trump is the king of debt, and running debt is going to increase taxes. And again, you need to be taxed as a corporation, right? This is not an employee. Okay. So once you get taxed as a corporation, you begin to keep more of the money that you make. So now we get back to Ray Kroc. We said that Ray Kroc is not in the hamburger business. He's in the real estate business, right? But you have to franchise your way to wealth, which means you have to leverage other people and leverage systems. Again, 9 out of 10 businesses within 5 years that people self-start fail. Those are just the stats, people. So, and if you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, he's also for this business model. So McDonald's doesn't make anything complicated. They sell hamburgers, French fries, apple pie, milkshake. That's their system. That's their main products. They don't overcomplicate the process. This is what we do with MWR. We, the number one financial company, look at your money max, your tax strategies. We have 4 products as well, just like McDonald's. Tax reductions, you get unlimited CPA, certified financial planners, certified advisors as well, professional advisors. And they look at your paycheck. I call it paycheck checkup, W4 Wealth, to see where you're overpaying in taxes, get that money back into your purse or your pocket, right? Most men keep their money in their pocket. Women can keep it in the purse. And on a side note, stop buying these $2,000 purses if you don't know how to stack $2,000 into it. It's just, that's free. You don't have to pay. You don't have to give me a super chat for that advice. So then credit max, credit restoration strategies. Let the experts restore, enhance, and rebuild, monitor, and protect your credit. Very basic credit repair issues. You can get it all here with the MWR package. Then equity max, right? This is your debt elimination strategies. You may think that the best way to pay down a debt is to pay off high balances first, get the debt snowball, but people, that's not always the best way. Because if you have a high credit score, sometimes paying off an installment loan debt to free up cash flow is a better strategy for you. So you have to strategize this out as well. Stop just throwing dots in the dark and hoping that you're getting it right when it comes to your hard-earned money. Then you have wealth max. This is what I was stating. This is the point that I'm getting into, where it's land in California that this company invests in. Again, Ray Kroc said when he learned that his business to make him a multimillionaire was in land and not in burgers, fries, apple pies, and shake. That's how the rich and wealthy become wealthy, right? So is my money for $4 a day? The IRS would tell you, IRS tell taxpayers who get a big refund to do a paycheck checkup. They tell them that you overpay in taxes. You give us your money for free throughout the year, and we do not give you interest on return. So a lot of people don't understand how they're paying in taxes. Most taxpayers are receiving refunds around $2,800, but a refund just means you getting your money back again when you could be bringing that money into your household. So then we had a tax box program by Sandy Botkins, the fastest way to lower your taxes. Over $1 billion. Again, you're going to pay taxes when you earn, spend, and save money through inflations, and even when you die. So you might as well learn about taxes now. Automatic track your expenses. This is the book I'm doing. I'm reading the new updated Lower Your Taxes Big Time 2019-2020 edition. Over 475 tax deductions that you get when you join this business as an entrepreneur, but you only get 15 as an employee. So I'm going to stop right here because I'm getting a little fatigued. But save $1,000 in taxes and increase your cash flow. And again, people, cash flow is just not about money coming to you. It's money that when you spend out, you're able to get back. Let me say that again. Money is just not about the money coming into you. It's about cash flow. It's about money that you spend now that you're able to flow back to you as well. And so it's two ways to look at, to define and look at cash flow. So when you spend money out on your utilities in your home, on your groceries, on your children, you get up to $12,000 of tax payment back to hire your kids to work in the business, right? Your repair, your vehicle notes. Now that money that you're spending out can flow back to you. So cash flow is not just about how can I get money coming in, it's how can you get money coming back that you spent out as well. So I'm going to stop this for tonight. I'm going to look at your questions or your comments. All right. Okay. Mimosa says she's okay. Switching to Citibank. All right. You already have Navy Federal. Always a good thing with Navy Federal is to keep those direct deposit. Okay. Jesus about infinite banking at the moment because you have to buy the life insurance. I would just stick to velocity banking. Okay. I won't get on velocity banking now because I'm tired. I may try to do something on it this week, but I do have some old videos, how to pay off your mortgage in 5 to 7 years on my channel about velocity banking. Thank you, Truth Seeker. The Fiend is 33. I had to pay death tax. I'm telling you all, taxes. I had to pay death tax on my late husband's insurance payment. Wow, I'm telling you, you gotta find a way to pay less taxes if you want to get out of the rat race. With a comp to assist with credit repair, I applied for credit cards. Some were declined, and it dropped my score 16 points. Company I am using will not submit to remove since I applied. Is this correct? That's true. Usually when you get a company to help you apply for business credit, what they do is they apply all in one day, right? And so they could run up some inquiries, but just go to my website, credit help, I can help you with that. But it has to be 5 or more inquiries. I don't do 5 or less. That's not really worth my time. So it's like $55 per inquiry that you want deleted that you did not get approved for. All right. So that'll help you with that inquiry removal. Because what they do is, thank you, Jesus. I appreciate that. I just saw some of his comments. What they would do, they want to apply all in one day. So other companies, so your credit profile won't have the opportunity to update showing that you have 5 or more inquiries. So they do it all in one day. I appreciate that, Jesus. Thank you for that. All right. And so you have to go through credit help and invest $75 for your credit consultation to get that inquiry removal help. Mimosa, I need a vehicle. Well, honey, sir, why wouldn't you want to purchase a vehicle now? They're giving away dirt cheap. Hearst just filed bankruptcy. They had a lot of used vehicles from Hearst, for example, for sale. But you also can find some good lease deals. Just make sure that if you join a home-based business, that, let me see if I can find this right. Besides, what counts as business miles? I have to go with it. Is it usually better? Thank God I went right to the page. 60 to buy rather than lease a vehicle. Since Congress put some limits on depreciation, you would think leasing a vehicle would be a better deal. However, Congress thought of this too. Congress made the IRS come up with killer tablets that approximate the benefits of what you would have gotten had you purchased the vehicle. You actually would add some income on your tax return, which is the same as eliminating some lease deductions. And it's saying that the table, this book is showing this. Again, this is lower your taxes big time. You can only do this through a home-based business strategy. But you would add back some of your income on your tax return, which is the same as eliminating some lease deductions. Figure 5.3 shows this table. To use it, add back the dollar amount under tax year during lease to your income on your tax returns based on the fair market value of your car and how old the lease is. In later years of the lease, the add back to your income is higher. This is some advanced stuff. So if you examine the table, you will see that the more expensive the car is, the worse the lease deal becomes. And the longer the lease, the worse the deal is. Thus, 4-year leases are worse than 3-year leases, which are worse than 2-year leases. After doing a lot of computer analysis, I have found the best treatment for a business vehicle, because we're playing chess and not checkers. So you want to get a vehicle that you can write off. It's a business vehicle is to buy it and keep it for 4 or more years, with 10 years being ideal. This is particularly true under the new TCJA for vehicles placed in service in 2018 and thereafter. However, there are a few other times when leasing is better than buying. Leasing generally begins better if you cannot get good financing to buy a car because of bad credit, right? You put less than 15,000 miles per year, and you keep your vehicles for 3 years or less. So this is saying these are 3 conditions where leasing would be better. So it gives an example. Scott buys a Cadillac Escalade for $60,000 and uses it for 90% of the business. Thus, his depreciable business use becomes $54,000, 90% of the $60,000. The way the bonus depreciation works is follows. So he goes over the Cadillac is driven 9,000 business miles and 10,000 total miles. The vehicle is deemed to be used for 90% of business use. So Now, this is what I do want to say too. You should know what type of vehicle to buy. Buy heavy metal vehicles and trucks to get fast tax write-off. Um, you should know that all the luxury limits apply to passenger vehicles. If you can come outside of the definition of passenger automobile, you have no luxury limits and can write off the entire business of the car over 5 years or even less in the expense selection. So let me just make it simple. Congress defines a passenger vehicle, listen to this, as a four-wheel vehicle that is manufactured primarily for use on public streets and highways and has unloaded gross vehicle weight of 6,000 pounds or less. However, if a vehicle is a truck or van or has a truck base, as most sports utilities vehicles do, the test changes and having a loaded gross vehicles. So, in other words, sports vehicles are better for tax deductions than passenger cars or vehicles as a result of the new tax and job cuts of 2018. Business can elect to write off $100,000 worth of equipment. Me, myself, the type of vehicles must have a gross vehicle weighing over 6,000 pounds. My next business vehicle is probably going to be a Jeep convertible because of the tax deduction. Not looking for a car because of the tax strategy. So, Jesus says you can rent your car on Turo. Yeah, I've heard about that. People buy used cars, cash, and rent them. There is a guy who bought a car used for 5G. He rented out 5,000. He rented out and made 900. Wow. Okay, so definitely when I get into this book, I'll get you on what vehicles you need to purchase if you want to use the home-based business strategy, because in 2018 there were adjustments in the tax laws, and if you have vehicles over 600 pounds, sports utilities weight, you get bigger tax deductions, right? So for me, I'm going to be a Jeep girl real soon, right? But it's going to be vehicles on their terms for those strategies only. Hey, I'm signing out. Thank you all for staying all the way to the end. It's been 3 hours. This is my longest live stream. So this is to your credit and cash flow, your peace and prosperity, and your health and your wealth. Queen of Credit out. I will, bye. See you next live stream. I will try to go live tomorrow. Depends on how much credit work I have to do. Skip your question. Somebody said, skip my question. I'm out too. This is your question. This Sunday, ran my unemployment amount to $0. Do I call them in the morning to get a 13-week extension because it says I have to? Whoa. I don't know much about unemployment, but I definitely would call in the morning to get a 13-week. I don't know how you can get a 13-week extension on that unemployment because it's ending. If it's the $600 federal stimulus, it's ending and within almost 3 weeks, July 20, July 25th or 26th. But I definitely would make a phone call if you don't have any forms of employment. And I definitely will have my credit up in case you have to use credit cards in place. Yeah, Jesus and I'm just playing. I'm looking at this thing. In case you have to use credit card as your cash flow right now, right? As you have to use credit card as a form of cash flow, right? So yes, I mean, call. I don't know I can't tell you what to say because I don't know how that works. I just know that stimulus ends, and but definitely if you can get some type of extension within the next 3 weeks until it permanently ends, definitely do that. What happened to your question? Somebody said something. What happened to my question? Honey, I got sir, I had so many questions on here. 49 states activated what last week? You all let me know because the state extension due to the CARES Act. What does the state extend what? They're not extending unemployment. I just read an article that stated that unemployment would not be extended. So if states extended it, it must be the state unemployment, but not the $600 from the federal. Let me know. Because from what I just read and researched, I didn't see that they were, because they're having a lot of problems with people wanting to go back to work because they're getting paid more unemployed than they are on their job. So now we have an unemployment issue. So from what I've read and researched, they're not looking to extend that $600 from the federal. So, yeah. All right. To the next live stream. You all have a great night.